Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Privrajapacharya Ashtottara Shata Shishimat Bhaichana Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananda Kati Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru Guru. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 6, The Killing of the Demon Putana, verse 34. Dahyamanasya dehasya dhumascha guru saurabha uttita krishna nirbhukta sapadi ahata papmanaha dahyamanasya dehasya Dhumascha Guru Saurabha Utita Krishna Nirbhukta Sapadi Ahata Papmanaha Dahyamanasya Dehasya Dhumascha Guru Saurabha Utita Krishna Nirbhukta Sapadi Ahata Papmanaha. Mataji's. Dakhya manasya, while being burned to ashes. Dehasya, of the body of Putana. Dhumaha, the smoke. Cha, and Aguru Saurabha, turned into saintly scented smoke of the Aguru herb. Uttitaha, emanating from her body. Krishna Nirbhukta, because of Krishna's having sucked her breast. Sapadi, immediately. Ahatapapmanaha, her material body became spiritualized or relieved of all material conditions. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace by Charan Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Because of Krishna's having sucked the breast of the Rakshasi Putana, when Krishna killed her, she was immediately freed of all material contamination. Her sinful reactions automatically vanished, and therefore, when her gigantic body was being burned, the smoke emanating from her body was fragrant like a Guru incense. Purport. Such are the effects of Krishna consciousness. If one somehow or other becomes Krishna conscious by applying his senses in the service of the Lord, one is immediately freed from material contamination. Shrinvatam Svakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. Bhagavatam 1-17. Hearing about the activities of Krishna is the beginning of purified life. Punya Shravana Kirtana. Simply by hearing and chanting, one becomes purified. Therefore, in discharging devotional service, Shravana Kirtana, hearing and chanting, is most important. Then, with purified senses, one begins to render service to the Lord. Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam. Bhaktir Uchyate. This is called bhakti. When Putana was somehow or other, directly or indirectly, induced to render some service to the Lord, by feeding him with her breasts, she was immediately purified, so much so that when her nasty material body was burned to ashes, it gave off the fragrance of aguru, the most agreeable scented herb. Because of Krishna's having sucked the breast of the Rakshasi Putana, when Krishna killed her, she was immediately freed of all material contamination. Her sinful reactions automatically vanished, and therefore, when her gigantic body was being burned, the smoke emanating from her body was fragrant like aguru incense. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate grimat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam. Om Gyanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpa Trubhishcha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this pastime is very encouraging for us, because here we see one of the greatest manifestations of Krishna's unlimited mercy. Here we have this terrible demon. She was killing babies, sucking blood. We can hardly imagine something more horrible than these activities. And still, Krishna gave her his mercy. She became elevated to the position of his mother in Goloka Vrindavana, actually his nurse. So if she has attained such unlimited mercy, then we also have a chance. Actually, we have our chances are very high of success. We will attain Krishna's lotus feet if Krishna is so merciful. Not because we are so special, but because Krishna is very merciful, unlimitedly merciful. And if we consider the pastime, if we read what the Acharyas, what Srila Prabhupada explained about this pastime, Krishna actually didn't even want to deal with this witch personally, directly. When Putana entered the room, what happened was that Krishna's all-knowing potency, Sarvagya Shakti, she immediately seized the opportunity to render some service to the Lord. So Krishna was immediately informed who is this person, what horrible activities this person was doing. Not that Krishna actually needs this, but Krishna likes to associate, to exchange love with his devotees, with his Shaktis also. They are also his devotees. So Krishna immediately understood, and then when Krishna became angry, not so much because this demon wanted to kill him, but because the Putana wanted actually to cause havoc in Vrindavan. She wanted to kill babies in Gokula. Krishna became angry, and then when Krishna killed Putana, the Acharyas explained that he actually didn't do it directly. His energy of destruction and anger, Samhara Shakti, she killed the demon. And Krishna even didn't want to look the face of this demon. You know, when you don't even want to look somebody in the face, then that means you have pretty bad relationship with this person. And still, so we can say in one sense, Putana was pretending that she is devotee, and Krishna was, we can say, somehow or other, he was pretending that he actually accepted her devotional service. So it was kind of pretentious situation. Still, although Krishna didn't want to deal with her directly, he didn't even kill her personally, still she attained such amazing result. So we have also big chances of success. So this is possible, the success that Putana attained is possible because she was focused on Krishna. That was her goal. As the Acharyas explain, Yena tena prakarena mana Krishna niveshayet. Somehow or other, we have to fix our mind on Krishna. Of course, we're not advised to do it in this way, as Putana did it in it's called practical. Unfavorable. We are supposed to be favorably engaged in Krishna's service. Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam. But still, even if if Putana was engaged in this way, still she gained the result, and she was actually focused on Krishna. This focus is very important. But in order to focus on anything, on Krishna in this case, in our case, we have to have faith. So there is this famous verse from Dashamula Tattva. It is called Karika verse, explanatory verse. Dashamula Tattva is an important book by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And the verse states, Amnaya praha tattvam harimiha paramam sarvashaktim rasabdim tad binam samscha jivan prakriti kavalitan tad vimuktamscha bhavat bheda bheda prakasham sakalam api hare saranam shuddha bhaktim sadyam tat priti eveti upadishati janan gaura chandra swayam saha. In this verse, Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes the whole Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. So first he explains that, okay, so there are 10 things, 10 truths, Dasha Mula Tattva, the 10 root truths or tattvas. And the first one is called pramana. This is the proof, the evidence. If you want to establish something, first of all you have to establish the basis on which you establish your truth, your points. So the first one is Amnaya. That means the Vedas are the proof. So we accept the Vedas as the evidence. And then on the basis of the Vedas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains there are 9 prameyas. First is called pramana, the evidence, and then we have 9 prameyas. The facts that are established on the basis of the pramana. And they are, first of all, that Hari or Krishna is Paramam. He is the Supreme Absolute Truth. Paramam Sarva Shaktim Rasabdim. He is the origin of all Shaktis. He is the master. He is the Shaktiman. This is the point where the Mayavadis they go wrong. And it is just like when you tell one lie, then if you want to protect this one lie, then afterwards you have to say so many other lies, and then you become bewildered and confused because you have to keep in your memory so many different complicated issues. So in the same way, the Mayavadis, they cannot accept this one thing, that truth that Krishna is the Sarva Shakti. He's Shaktiman. They think that Brahman is devoid of any Shaktis. Somehow or other they have Shaktis, but somehow or other the Supreme doesn't have Shaktis. This is their weird conclusion. So Krishna is the origin and the master of all Shaktis, and the Shaktis are actually expanded because he wants to enjoy the bliss of association with his devotees. Krishna is Atmarama, he is completely perfect. He's perfect, completely perfect. But he wants to increase his happiness. This is why there are these Upanishadic statements like Bahusyam. The Lord became many, he expanded, because he wants to reciprocate. He wants to share his happiness with the living entities, with his energies. So Krishna is Paramam, Sarva Shaktim, and then he's Rasabdim. He's the origin, the fountainhead of all relationships and rasas. He is, as it is explained in the beginning of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he is Akila Rasamrita Murti. All the rasas are emanating from him. So the next point Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes in Dashamula Tattva is that the living entities are Binam Samshchajivam. They are eternally separated parts and parcels of Krishna. Some of them are conditioned and some of them are liberated. Nitya Siddha and Nitya Bala. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says, Dvafimao Purushao Loke Akshara Evacha Akshara Sarvani Bhutani Kutasto Akshara Muchyate. Everybody in the spiritual world is perfect and everybody in the material world is imperfect. And what is the relationship between the Lord, the living entities, and the material energy? Bheda. They are, first of all, they are dependent on the Lord, and they are simultaneously one and inconceivably one and different from the Lord. So the first 7 prameyas describe Sambandha Gyan, the relationship between the Lord, the living entities, and the material energy. Then the 8th one, Shuddha Bhakti, describes the process for attaining the goal, which is Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotional service. And then, what is that goal? It is Tat Priti. Priti means love of Godhead. So this is, in a nutshell, in summary, the whole Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. And we are supposed to subscribe to accept this philosophy. Our philosophy is all-inclusive in a sense that everybody can decide to subscribe to it. Everybody is allowed to render devotional service to the Lord. But it is not all-inclusive in a sense that anything goes. No, if you want to be Gaudiya, then these are the principles that we have to accept and to follow. Also, we see that Vaikuntha is not that anybody can go in Vaikuntha. There are actually doorkeepers. We have all these stories Some famous stories, what's happening on the door of Vaikuntha. We have Jaya and Vijaya, we have Nanda, Sunanda, Bhadra and Subhadra. So not everybody is qualified to enter Vaikuntha. Everybody has the right to qualify, but not everybody obviously is qualified. Obviously. So if we notice that these 10 basic truths of Gaudiya philosophy, they begin with establishing the pramana. Pramana is the evidence, and our pramana is the Veda. We base everything on the Shastra. The Vedas are self-sufficient svata pramana. They are self-sufficient authority. That means that any statement from the Veda doesn't need to be proven by any other statement to be accepted as truth, as reality. Of course, we have other pramanas like anumana and pratyaksha, reasoning and sense perception, but they are subordinate to Shabda, to the Vedas. We see that the Acharyas, they always first establish the pramana, and then they establish the prameyas. The same is followed by Jiva Goswami in his Sat Sandarbhas. First of all, he establishes in the Tattva Sandarbha that the Vedas are our proof. And then inside the Vedas, there are many different literatures, and amongst them, Jiva Goswami proves that Srimad Bhagavatam is the emperor among all pramanas. Also inside Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 18,000 verses, and the Acharyas also, they explain that there is what it is called Paribhasa Sutra, the most important verse in Bhagavatam, which is the 28th verse of chapter 3 of first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which establishes Krishna as the supreme authority, the supreme personality among all the Vishnu Tattvas. Etecham Shakala Pumsam Krishnastu Bhagavan Svayam. So all other verses in Bhagavatam, they have to be interpreted in a way that conforms to the Paribhasa Sutra. The example Acharyas give is just like the king. He's the supreme commander, the commander of the whole army, and each and every soldier, each and every general should follow the orders of the king. In the same way, when we study the Vedas, every statement from the Vedas cannot contradict the statements of Srimad Bhagavatam, the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, it doesn't contradict. It's not possible, but sometimes because we are conditioned, we see contradictions which actually don't exist in the Vedas. So the Vedas are apaurushaya, which means that they are not created by ordinary person. They are perfect and complete. They are absolute regarding all material and spiritual matters. Even the material matters are dealt in the Vedas in an authoritative way. In other words, we cannot say that, Srimad Bhagavatam is valid only partially, only in the spiritual part. When it describes the universe or the social structure, we cannot accept it as valid. No, it's not correct. It is valid all the way through. So this faith in Shastra is crucial, because otherwise we will not be able to focus on Krishna. We will not be able to attain the level of Nishta, which means, as Bhagavatam explains, the devotional service becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Because if you don't have faith in something, then you don't take the time, you don't make the endeavor to attain this thing. People who are successful even materially, they have faith in their objective. That's why they make the endeavor to attain it. Materialists are firmly convinced that they will attain happiness in the material world. Therefore, they are making so much endeavor. So, if we want also to be successful, we should have this faith. Of course, this Shraddha, Mahaprabhu explains, Shraddha, Shabda, Vishwas, kahe sudrida nishchoy, Krishna Bhakti koile, sarva karma krita hoy. That means, first we have to define Shraddha. We're talking so much about faith, but without definition, we don't know what we're talking about. Faith, Shraddha, means, according to the Supreme Authority, Mahaprabhu, it means that we accept devotional service, Krishna Bhakti, as, okay, that means we have firm faith, firm conviction that simply by discharging pure devotional service, we will attain all subsidiary goals in life. Only Bhakti is completely enough to make us completely successful and happy. So, of course, this faith, it's not blind faith, because we have a process to verify each and every statement in the Shastra. And as one spiritual master likes to say, Krishna is urging us not to just to have faith, blind faith, but to go into the Bhakti laboratory and to verify, to apply this knowledge in our life and to verify all the statements for ourselves so that we can get realization, vijnana. So if we have faith, we will attain nishta, and then after nishta, then comes ruchi, Shushrusho Shradodhanasya Vasudeva Kata Ruchi Syan Mahat Seva Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. This Vasudev Ruchi will be attained if we Shushrusho, if we hear, just like Srila Prabhupada makes the same point in this purport, hearing and chanting of the activities of Krishna is the beginning of the purified life. Shushrusho means hearing, and Shradodhanasya, Srila Prabhupada translates it in the word for word as hearing with attention and care, which is another way of saying hearing with faith. Otherwise, why would you pay attention and take care in something you don't have faith? So if we apply ourselves in this way, with this type of Shraddha, of faith, then we will attain taste, ruchi, and after ruchi is attained, then the process of devotional service becomes much more easy than it is before attaining the taste, because before ruchi we are performing our duties basically, and sometimes we feel like doing something else, being somewhere else, but after ruchi, then we actually spontaneously are engaged in devotional service. We like to do devotional service. Of course, we like it before that too, but the taste is not so strong. And the acharyas compare the attainment of ruchi. They compare the ruchi with very strong wind, and the anarthas are like dry leaves. So in this way, our heart becomes purified very, very quickly from the anarthas if we attain this ruchi. But this is happening only when we have taste, when we have Shraddha. So modern people, of course, they will not appreciate very much all these statements, because for them, having simple faith in the Shastra is naive, sentimental, fanatical. But if we consider what do the modern people and materialists, especially mundaners, what is their standing, they also have to accept authority, and they have to do it on the basis of faith also, because none of their statements can actually be proven, and it's not being proven. So they have to believe in things. So they also have to accept on good faith different statements. The difference is that our pramana is perfect and their pramana is not. That's the only difference. Otherwise, the process they apply is the same. They have to have faith. And it is well known in mathematics, you have what is called axioms. These are statements that are not proven, they are just accepted as true. In philosophy also, there is term for this. It's called ipse dixit. This, literally, that means he said so when the followers of the Greek philosophers, ancient Greek philosophers, were challenged, why you're making this statement? What is the proof for this? And they will reply, ipse dixit, he himself said so, and he himself refers to people like Thales or Anaximander or Pythagoras, Plato, all conditioned souls with 4 defects. We didn't mention Socrates here because Prabhupada said he was Jivan Mukta. So they have to rely on also on authority, but their authority is not perfect. So if sometimes Shastra doesn't make sense to us, we should try to understand this is our own misfortune. If we cannot understand Shastra according to our material logic, that means we are not advanced enough in devotional service. There is this famous verse from Bhagavad Gita. Krishna defines the qualities of the Brahmanas, and he says that one of the qualities is astikyam, which means religiosity. Prabhupada translates it as religiosity. And the acharyas, they define astikyam as the firm faith that whatever Veda says must be true, regardless of mundane logic. Mundane logic is called laukika logic, and there is another type of logic called shastra mulaka. So if something doesn't make sense, we cannot understand it, we should just continue with our devotional service. Maybe we shouldn't press much the issue for now. We should associate with the more advanced devotees, continue to chant Hare Krishna, serve the Vaishnavas, etc. And at one point we will understand. One thing we should never do, we should never reject the statements of Shastra because we don't understand it. This is not allowed. And if we do this, if we start watering down our philosophy, then what will happen is that we will lose our... It's just like a medicine has a active ingredient which actually can cure the disease. If we water down the philosophy, then we will lose our opportunity to render service to the society at large. Because society already, the mundane society, they already have enough professionals, enough politicians, enough, you name it, anything they have enough. So our contribution is that we can give them Krishna consciousness. There's nothing else. So then, with all this faith, with this Shraddha, then everything that is happening between Krishna and Putana, this wonderful purport by Srila Prabhupada, all of these things will make sense to us. Then we'll be able to appreciate truly the wonderful mercy attained by Putana. I think the devotees who were giving classes on this pastime, they already quoted this verse. It is verse by Uddhava, who in third canto of Bhagavatam, he exclaimed, he was amazed by this mercy, and he said, where I should take shelter? Who is more merciful than Krishna, who gave his mercy to this demon who wanted to kill him? So then, with this Shraddha, we'll be able to appreciate the fact that just by devotional service, Krishna will be pleased, and even if in this case, Putana was not even a devotee, she was trying to harm Krishna. Later on, the acharyas and the next verses, Bhagavatam and the acharyas, they explain that let alone the result, what will be the result attained by the devotees. If Putana attains such result, what will be the result attained by those who actually try sincerely to render service to the Lord? Brahma was also confused because of this. In his prayers to Krishna, Brahma said, I don't understand, my dear Lord, what you already have given yourself. And you are the utmost award. You are the best thing that can happen in somebody's life is your association. And you already have given yourself up to this demon Putan and her family members. So what will be the reward for the devotees in Vrindavan? What you will give to them? So we know that Krishna is Bhagavan Bhakti Bhaktiman. He is devotee. He is pure devotee of his devotees. In this sense, Krishna is not he doesn't demand anything that he is not doing, hasn't been doing, and will not be doing forever, because he acts on the platform of pure devotional service for his devotees, and therefore he doesn't demand that we become pure devotees. He's just requesting us, please try to come up to this standard so that we can have a relationship, a real close relationship. Otherwise, we cannot have intimate relationship with you, because you have some other things in mind, not me. You want to attain some extraneous goals in life. So it's not he's not a tyrant. He doesn't demand. He just wants to. Krishna wants to reciprocate with his devotees in the perfect way. So he's devotee of his devotees. And here we find out he's even devotee of those who are non-devotees, because he takes care of them too. Krishna is basically always looking for an excuse. How can I deliver this conditioned soul from Maya? This is just the opposite of what is happening in the material world. In the material world, materialistic people, they always look for an excuse how to harm other living entities, how to exploit them. Srila Prabhupada gives the example of bureaucrats. He says the job of the bureaucrat is to say no. When you go to him and you ask for something, he takes pleasure, often, to reject the proposal, say no, it's not going to happen. Or you have the other example with the medical insurance companies. They are taking the money of the people's money, and they're supposed to provide, to pay for their medical care when it is required. They make lots of money, but when they have to pay back, when they have to protect the people, what they do is they have a whole team of investigators who are actually going very minutely, very meticulously, systematically through the dossier, through the files of the person they're supposed to protect and pay for his medical insurance, and they're trying to find any excuse not to pay the money. That's their job. They're like investigating a murder case or something, and they're really looking to how to screw over this person. So this is just the opposite of what Krishna is doing. Krishna is always looking for an excuse how to give us mercy. In this case, even the excuse was not actually there, but he decided, she's pretending to be my devotee, I'll accept this. We have also the case of the pastime of Gopakumara. When Gopakumara went to Vaikuntha, then Narayana told him, I've been waiting for you for so long. Why have you... every life after life I was waiting. When? Maybe this life he'll finally pay attention to me. I'm his best friend, and I'm always in his heart. But no, you kept disappointing me, life after life. You didn't want to reciprocate with me, and this was breaking my heart. And then Narayana said, and then finally I had to actually break my own rules that I have established myself, that I don't interfere with the free will of the living entities. So I had to come down and to become your guru. So the guru of Gopakumara, Jayanta, was actually expansion of Narayana. So this is Krishna. Krishna explains in 9th canto, he tells Durvasa Muni, that I am, without my devotees, I don't want to enjoy my opulences, basically. All this, the spiritual world, Naham Atmana Mashase Mad Bhaktari Sadubhrivina Shriyam Chatyantikim Brahman Yesham Gatirahampara Yedaragara Putrapta Pranami Vitani Mamparam Tyaktvam Mam Sharanam Yata Kutamstam Tyaktum Utsahe. Krishna says, without my devotees I don't want to enjoy this opulence, the goddess of fortune, my bliss that comes from my own swarup and the bliss that comes from the surroundings of Vaikuntha, all this opulence. He tells the great sage Durvasa, my devotees, they give up life after life, everything that is dear to all materialistic persons, home, wife, family, even life itself. So how can I forsake them? How can I forget about them? It's not possible. So Krishna is looking for opportunity to deliver us, for an excuse, and then if we have faith in this, then our body, which is full of all these nice substances described in Krishna book and in Bhagavatam, then it will be also purified. And if we have faith in this, there is this special verse from 11th canto. Krishna personally tells Sudhava that this process of bhakti is Esha buddhimattam buddhir manisha cha manishinam yat satyam anriteneha martyanapnati mamritam. It is the most intelligent process, it is the most clever process, because by offering, the devotees, they just offer to me their material bodies, which are Maya anyway. Because they offer this material thing to me, then they get myself, which is I am the ultimate reward and the supreme happiness. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains, if this verse shines in our hearts, then if this verse shines in our hearts, then we will shine in the assembly of the devotees. But in order to attain this, we have to have faith. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Are there any questions, comments? Yes, Prabhu. You have to turn it on, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. A point you made very early on in your class, I didn't quite understand, maybe I didn't hear it correctly, was you said that the Mayavadis say Krishna has no Shakti, but we have Shakti. And I didn't quite understand what that meant.
They say that the Lord, the Supreme, doesn't have senses, he doesn't have taste, he doesn't have likings or dislikings, he cannot walk, he cannot enjoy life, but somehow or other they can do all these things. So their concept of the Supreme is contradictory, because the Supreme doesn't have something that they do. Srila Prabhupada made the point that they say, oh, this is illusion, material world, but they somehow or other, they're very expert in enjoying this illusion. Their concept of the Supreme is illogical, because the Supreme is bereft of enjoyment, and somehow they want to enjoy. So that's what I meant. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you for a wonderful class. You mentioned it's a Krishna is need more happiness. Actually, all the sastras as mentioned, Krishna is more, or not even more, is most happiest. So that means Paramananda. So Purnatamam. But where is a chance he needs to be more happy? Can you explain more on this? He need more happiness.
Uh-huh.
So why he need more happiness? He's already a most perfect or most complete.
Yes, just like Krishna he's perfect. Then in Mathura he's perfect, I believe. In Dwarka he's more perfect, and in Vrindavana he's most perfect. In the same way, in his Atmarama feature he's already perfect because he doesn't need anybody. He doesn't have to go outside of himself to experience happiness. We are dependent. That's why when you go on the street you see so many people. They're moving around. Everybody wants to attain different goals. Why? Because they're dependent. We are dependent. If we just stay at home, nobody will be happy. But Krishna is already, he doesn't have to go outside of himself to attain happiness, perfect happiness. And still, Srila Prabhupada gives the example, a rich man, he wants to get married, have children, so that he shares his happiness and his opulence with others. So the same way, Krishna, his happiness is already perfect, but it also increases all the time. It's ever increasing happiness and bliss. And this is found in the relationship with the devotees. This is the most important thing for Krishna. It's not so much his opulence, it is how he reciprocates with his devotees. Is this okay?
Thank you.
Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Oh, I know.